Over the last few console generations, independent games that started out as smaller arcade-like experiences, homebrews, and mods have risen to Game of the Year contenders, and in some cases, global phenomena. We're taking a look back at how Microsoft's ID at Xbox program has helped to elevate some of these games, from humble beginnings to mainstream blockbusters. But before we get to that, what is an indie game? It may seem like a silly question, but it's important to highlight that an indie is a game developed by a smaller team, unlike the one you would see working on a AAA release. Similar to independent films, the absence of financial backing on the level a AAA studio can provide will often result in a more nuanced and creative approach to game development. This includes independently developed but monumentally successful franchises, such as Rocket League and Cuphead. Independent games have existed for as long as video games have been around. From their early days as text-based adventures created by hobbyists in the late 1970s, to the age of floppy disk shareware and Doom mods in the early 90s, and, later on, the web-based era of Flash games and smaller online-only titles. But it wasn't until the mid-2000s that indie developers would get better access to the critical game-making tools at affordable prices, and more importantly, would have the means to distribute their games to a wider audience via online services like Xbox Live Arcade. Thanks to this open economy of distribution, independent developers are now able to showcase their creations to a significantly wider audience, giving them a better chance to blow up. And as a result of this often bare bones and generally creative approach, indie developers have made some pretty mind-blowing and sometimes very unique and memorable games, such as Among Us, High on Life, and Gang Beasts. Since 2004, Microsoft has been helping support these visionaries bring their games to life through programs such as ID at Xbox and the ID at Xbox Developer Acceleration Program. Back in 2004, Microsoft launched a service on the Xbox 360 called Xbox Live Arcade. Initially, it was set to be an innovative digital service where people could play bite-sized arcade games such as Ms. Pac-Man, Bejeweled, and Joust. As the years progressed, the service grew to include notable indie games such as Super Meat Boy, Castle Crashers, and Geometry Wars. The service was heralded as a financial and critical success, and helped bring more genre-defining independent games such as Alien Hominid, Shadow Complex, and Limbo to a much larger audience. Fast forward to 2013, when Microsoft released the successor to the Xbox 360, the Xbox One. Microsoft changed the name of Xbox Live Arcade and made indie game development even more accessible, thanks to the feedback they had received from independent developers who had used Xbox Live Arcade in the past. Independent developers at Xbox, or ID at Xbox, not only helped developers with game distribution across Xbox and Windows, but also gave developers access to tools such as Xbox dev kits, the option to add achievements, and the ability to update their games for free, just to name a few. These tools save developers a ton of money, and when it comes to independent art, every penny saved is a penny earned, or a penny poured back into the development of the game. More recently, Xbox announced the ID at Xbox Developer Acceleration Program. This program is dedicated to helping empower developers from underrepresented communities, diverse backgrounds, and more unique voices. And that's pretty cool, because games should be made by everyone, for everyone. Over the last 10 years, thousands of games have been released with the help of ID at Xbox, such as Tunic, Unpacking, Moonlighter, Vampire Survivors, Dead Cells, and the game that everyone likes to look at but never actually beat, Cuphead. Outside of these mega hits, notable releases through ID at Xbox include Untitled Goose Game, Inside, and about 2,994 other games, which have earned a collective payout of over $4 billion to over 5,000 devs in over 100 countries. Not bad for a bunch of games made by small teams of people who, just a few years ago, would have had to sign over an arm and a leg to get the funding necessary to make a hand-drawn video game where a gambling addict Cupman and his enabler brother fight the devil to pay off some debts. Thanks to programs such as ID at Xbox, we may see more independent developers not only have a chance at critical and financial success, but also find the audiences that are as unique and interesting as their games.